Greetings from Vancouver. Today I'm going to showcase PorkiCoder for the first time. And what we're working with here is a simple developer portfolio page, and it looks like this right now. It's super simple. It's got my two products, ResumeHog and PorkiCoder, next to each other, two MP4 files compressed so that it doesn't need too much bandwidth. And it's purple. It's very basic. Not much going on. My X is not here. GitHub is not here. LinkedIn is not here. So we're gonna change all that. But before we get into that, let's look at some basic features. So we got a bunch of models here: Grok, Opus, Sonnet, Gemini Pro, Gemini Flash, Kimi. We got two modes: Hog mode for full file creation. So when I started from scratch. I told Porky that I have empty index.html file. I got two videos, whipped something up, and it created this file from scratch. And then I'm like, can you create the necessary files so I can spin this up with npm run dev? Because you can't do much with a single HTML, right? So it created flight, it created index.html, and then asked me to do npm install, npm run dev, which I already did. So now I'm gonna ask this creature to add all my social media, and also I added some logos on the left side of the screen. So I'm gonna ask it to use those logos and maybe change the purple stuff. So what I'm gonna do is, first, I don't want to type the names or anything. I'm gonna do a little tree gen, and then okay, so we got logos over here. Project structure. These are my socials, and I want you to put them under their respective logos, which are white, so probably look good on a dark background. Can you take care of it? Here are the names of the logo assets. So I intentionally, so you can actually tag files. Actually, let's start from scratch. So I'm gonna wipe this chat history because we don't need it anymore. And you can actually tag files. Make necessary changes to index.html. Also, did I tell it to remove purple? Also, make sure that the excessive purple is handled. I don't want it on my site. Plus, the site as it stands is super plain looking and boring. Make it more futuristic looking if possible. See if you can get inspired by Mass Effect aesthetics. So Mass Effect is kind of my favorite video game, so let's see what it does. Yeah, so I tagged the file. I intentionally didn't allow tagging with image files because yeah, that's something that's coming soon. So right now you can only add text files. That's why I pasted the project structure so it knows where the logo images are. All right, so I'm gonna push this while it works. Let me give you a little tour. So we got index.html. We got the code editor. It's it's a code editor. What do you want? It's just like any other code editor, but it's super lightweight. And we got settings where you actually put in the API keys for all the stuff that I'm using. So what sets PorkiCoder apart is you don't pay any surcharge on your APIs. You bring your own API keys. All I charge is a flat $20 per month, and you always send full context by default. And when you don't want to send full, you can choose which files you want to tag. The full file will be sent instead of summaries of those files, which, as you know, often results in a lot of errors that we don't want. And since there's no API surcharge, there's not going to be extra stuff that you have to pay every time you ask something like you do with Cursor. You're just going to get charged whatever Anthropic or Claude or Kimi is charging you, right? So meanwhile, it's still working. Oh, it's done. All right, let's add these changes. So yeah, diff preview is a really cool feature where I like to see them side by side instead of like you see in Cursor where it's like adding up, it's crowded. I can't really see which change goes where. This, I feel like, is very comfortable and one of my favorite things about PorkiCoder. So I can actually eyeball the code and see like, oh yeah, it actually does make sense. Everything is right where it's supposed to be. So I'm just gonna add that in, apply, and do another npm run dev. Okay, very nice. This is a lot better than what we were working with. Let me minimize this and show you. Pretty great, right? So we got my name up there. We got Resume Hog. We got PorkiCoder. We got LinkedIn, my GitHub, my X handle. Okay, 2024 HTX. So this is a good opportunity to show normie mode, because sometimes we don't want to use up a lot of tokens for simple changes just like this. So what I'm gonna do is go back to PorkiCoder full screen. All right, so yeah, so from hog mode I'm gonna switch to normie mode, and then I'm gonna use a cheap model, Gemini Flash, and then can you switch the year from 2024 to 2025? Actually, yeah, I was just showing you switching between models. Yeah, so switch the year from 2024 to 2025. And also, what else can we change? Small change. Okay, let's go back to the website. Let's think of some small changes that will greatly improve software developer and creator of useful tools. Actually, instead of creator of useful tools, I'm going to software developer and humanoid pig, and add a pig snout somewhere. Okay, yeah. All right, let's do that. Change description from software developer to maker of fine porcine software, and add a snout. Should I add a snout? No. Okay, that'll be overkill. Yeah, porcine software. So I'm just gonna. So now I'm in normie mode. It's not gonna eat up a lot of tokens. It's just gonna, instead of doing a full file generation, it's just going to do a partial diff. And I'm gonna add the file index.html. Can you switch the year from and also change description? Yeah, this looks good. So while it's working, what I wanted to show you, because it was done pretty quickly last time, is that I have an extra chat window over here where you can actually ask other questions. Hey, can you give me most crucial SEO tips to rank my page higher for a certain phrase like cursor alternative. Keep your response under 50 words. So Kimi is really good for brainstorming. It's almost instant. Exact match title, H1 mirror phase, first 100 words repeat once. 2-3% keyword. These seem outdated. And don't work anymore. Think a bit more before answering. You can stretch your response to 150 words now. So it's really good for brainstorming on the side while your main is, okay, modern SEO for cursor starts with search engine. Build a comprehensive comparison. So this is a better answer. Architect that. So Kimi doesn't have a thinking mode, so you gotta like go back and forth with it, but it is capable of doing very good answers. Commercial, not just keyword stuffing. Phrase once in title, URL, meta, but prioritize semantic variants. Okay, that's good. Semantic variants are also important throughout headers and natural language structure with clear H2 sections, FAQ page, product schema, 2-3 internal links to related code editor posts, and 2-3-1-2 outbound citations, core web vitals. Okay, this is a much better answer than the last one. Okay, so while we have been brainstorming with Kimi, I think our main guy is done. And as you can see, it just outputs very minimal code because it's a simple change. You don't want to waste too many tokens, right? So I'm just going to preview it, see where it goes. Okay, it goes here. Maker of fine, it's going to remove the previous short to this. And finally, 2025, apply changes. Let's see if they were applied to my... And it looks like, yeah, they were applied. No issues. And I think that's enough demoing for today. One more thing. I wanted to show you mid-context chat clearing. So I'm going to go back from this to my main chat here. So let's say I ask a question about, let's say I get distracted and I ask, tell me a haiku about this change. Let's use like a cheap model since we're just goofing off. We don't want to waste money. Switch to Kimi, which is insanely cheap. So it's going to give me a haiku. Old year slips away. Porcine software now declared 2025. That's pretty good. But let's say I want to ask another question about SEO and I don't want this to be confusing my model, right? So what I'm going to do is, and by the way, pay attention because cursor doesn't give you this. Boom, boom, it's gone. My context is clean. Make some changes to index HTML to improve this page's SEO. And I'm gonna use, what should I use? Okay, so I think this is a good opportunity to showcase web search. So Sonnet comes with web search, so I'm gonna plug that in. Today I know we have been having an outage, so hopefully that's been resolved and it won't give me an error. Search web for best practices. Prioritize official Google sources. Okay, I think they fixed the outage because otherwise I would get an error. And yeah, let's wait for a bit. But yeah, I'm really excited. Another thing about PorkiCoder is it's built from scratch. It's not a fork of VS Code. So what that means is it's not bloated. It only has what I need to code with AI, and it only runs on less than 1 gigabyte of RAM, whereas I've been seeing posts on the internet lately where people have been crashing out with M4 MacBooks with 10 gigabytes of RAM consumption for Windows users. Their GPU is maxing out on gaming laptops. So if you're facing those issues, that's another reason. So you get to avoid surcharge and you also get to avoid bloat with PorkiCoder. And honestly, it's made my life a lot easier. And because I send full context every time without summarizing, I also get stuff done a lot quicker instead of where I used to use the cursor agent. Okay, did a lot of SEO improvements. It searched web for latest stuff. So I'm gonna see, okay, it's got some open graph. It's got a lot of stuff going on here. Okay, apply those changes and it's successfully applied. So those are SEO changes, so we're not going to see visually any change, but as we can see, it did a lot of stuff on the diff preview. It added like it added like a lot of SEO meta tags, canonical, URL, open graph, yada yada yada, your domain. Okay. So what is this stuff? Okay, so I'm just making the page. I haven't purchased a domain yet, so there's that. So okay, another good opportunity to switch from hog mode to normie mode and say like, hey, right now my page is using a placeholder called yourdomain.com. Can you replace those with ht.dev instead? Or should I do porky.now? Let's keep it ht.dev because it's ht.doc, yeah. Yeah, so this is, again, normie mode because we don't want, it's a simple change. So, I mean, obviously I could manually go and write that. I'm just trying to show you what using normie mode is like, so boom. By the way, normie mode also has a failsafe. So for some reason, if the diff-based generation fails, another backup service will come into play and correct all the errors. So it's fairly robust. Sorry, I'm just trying to keep you. Oh, look, it's done. All right, so index HTML. So yeah, ht.dev, it's doing all the replacement. Man, I love this diff preview. It's really the bee's knees. All right, so that concludes our first demo of PorkiCoder. If you want more features, if you want to suggest more changes, let me know. I'm always here. Just DM me on X. Thank you very much.